Has it ever occurred to you, Winston, by about the year 2050 at the very latest, not a single human being will be alive who can understand such a conversation as we are having now? It is possible. It is possible at least sometimes. It is possible, especially now, to ride a horse inside a prison cell and run away. It is possible for prison walls to disappear, for the cells to become a distant land without frontiers. What did you do with the walls? I gave them back to the rocks. And what did you do with the ceiling? I turned it into a saddle. And your chain? I turned it into a pencil. The prison guard got angry. He put an end to the dialogue. He said he didn't care for poetry, and he bolted like the door of my cell. He came back to see me in the morning. He shouted at me, "Where did all this water come from?" I brought it from the Nile. And the trees from the orchards of Damascus. And the music from my heartbeat. The prison guard got angry. He put an end to the dialogue. He said he didn't care for poetry, and he bolted the door of my cell. When he returned in the morning, where did the moon come from? From the nights of Baghdad. And the wine? From the vineyards of Algiers. And this freedom? From the chain you tied me with last night. The prison guard grew so sad he begged me to give him back his freedom. Even with complete censorship and the lack of information, your willingness can help your spirit stay alive. No matter how severe the censorship, they can never take away your will. The absolute truth is necessary and needed in order to have a functional, healthy society. When censorship hides the truth, the society can barely function, if it functions at all. Censorship is the nemesis of the truth. Truth and censorship are always in a struggle for control. In some places like America, the truth wins. However, in other places where censorship thrives, blindness sweeps over the ones that are unaware. When everything is censored, you are not even aware as to what is the truth and what is not. Everything is controlled, and the knowledge you possess are the ones you're supposed to. Family Guy by Seth MacFarlane. Oh, Lois, you're so full of beep. What? Now I can't say beep in my own beep house? Beep. Great, Lois, just beep. Great. No, you're lucky you're so good at beep, my beep, or never put up with you. You know what I'm talking about when you beep, you lubed up beep, toothpaste in my beep, while you beep, on cherry beep, escapillion beep, extension cord beep, witness beep, with a parking ticket? That's the best. The worst form of censorship is when you are not even aware that censorship exists. Everything is so censored that you perceive it as normal. Another example of where censorship is so common, it is seen as normal. 451 Fahrenheit by Red Bradbury. What more easily explained than natural, with school turning out more runners, jumpers, racers, tankers, grabbers, snatchers, flyers, and swimmers instead of examiners, critics, knowers, and imaginary creators, the word intellectual, of course, became the swear word it deserved to be. You always dread the unfamiliar. Surely you remember the boy in your own school class who was exceptionally bright, did most of the reciting and answering while the others sat like so many leading idols, hating him. And wasn't it this bright boy you selected for beatings and tortures after hours? Of course it was. We must all be alike. Not everyone born free and equal as the Constitution says, but everyone made equal. Each man the image of every other, then they are all happy, for there are no mountains to make them cower and to judge themselves against. So, a book is a loaded gun in the house next door. Burn it. Take the shot from the weapon. Breach man's mind. Who knows who might be the target of the well? Red man? Me? I won't stomach them for a minute. And so when houses were finally fireproofed completely all over the world, you were correct in your assumption the other night, there was no longer need of firemen for the old purposes. They were given the new job as custodians of our peace of mind, the focus of our understandable and rightful dread of being inferior, official censors, judges, and our executors. That's you, Montauk, and that's me. When everything is censored, you are not even aware that it's happening. It all seems so normal. But when you're aware, it seems unfair, unjust, and cheated. You feel that you are being unrightfully represented and angry. 1984 by George Orwell. It's a beautiful thing, the destruction of words. Of course, a great wastage is in the verbs and adjectives, but there are hundreds of nouns that can be rid of as well. It isn't only the synonyms, there are also the antonyms. After all, what justification is there for a word which is simply the opposite of some other word? A word contains its opposite in itself. Take good, for instance. If you have a word like good, what need is there for a word like bad? Ungood will do just as well. Better, because it's an exact opposite, which the other is not. Or again, if you want a stronger version of good, what sense is there in having a whole string of vague, useless words like excellent and splendid and all the rest of them? plus good covers the meaning, or double plus good if you want something stronger still. Of course, we use those forms already, but in the final version of Newspeak, there will be nothing else. And the whole notion of goodness and badness will be covered by only 6 words. In reality, only 1 word. So don't you see the beauty of that, Winston? It was BB's idea originally, of course. You haven't got a real appreciation for Newspeak, Winston. You don't grasp the beauty of the destruction of words. Do you know that Newspeak is the only language in the world whose vocabulary gets smaller every year? Censorship is a normal part of life, but it is important to realize when the censorship takes over the truth. It is important to realize when to stop letting censorship rule over us.